Mio, mio, guten Tag. Hello, hello, welcome back to my lectures of my book, IT ERP Projects, 33 years experience, 99 thoughts, 66 minutes to read. As always, straightforward, no cut recording with an iPhone, some AI sound enhancement, and some virtual background. That's all, no other tricks or fakes. And as always, a lecture of one chapter and then explaining what I was thinking about it. If you like, share and spread, help me to warm the audience. If not, also let me know what I could do better. Today, thought number 26. Be careful with workflows and reminders. Workflows can be a great tool to steer and control the execution of business processes where multiple people are involved. One great thing about workflows is that the workflow engine can send messages to peoples who are in charge of the execution of the next step. Just like the be careful with the standard messages, be careful with these. If the workflow sends a reminder to the whole finance department, maybe 10 people to execute an invoice posting, most of them will start to ignore them as anyway others got the message or they will try to execute the task which was already done by someone else from the finance team. If they anyway how check the option invoices on daily basis, better only remind them if there's a delay. So, what do I want to say with that? I think when we are starting, just like the standard messaging popping up, we love to have these workflows. If an action happens immediately, a person XYZ gets the information inbox, he or she can immediately react and execute the task. That is fine. That is fine if it's a few tasks per day, if it's defined people. But if you send out, like in that example, a message to do a job to a big bunch of people, maybe a department or a border group that they have to execute the next step, what will happen normally? Either everybody of the group will ignore it because anyway somebody else will do it, or all of them jump on it. That's the first thing. If the people get a reminder potentially in their mail system and there are too many reminders which they can ignore, they start to put an automatic rule. Also, if you have reminder saying, hey, there will be a potentially delivery in 2 weeks and prepare your pen to sign off. And the people know, yes, it will be in 2 weeks, and they get the message every day, the workflow, that they can prepare them. They will start to ignore it. They put an Outlook rule somewhere because that action is not urgent. That action is not needed. On the other hand, if a department does a job on a regular basis, like in that example, finance guys typically check on the morning, a defined person checks in the morning all the open unpaid invoices, walks through them and pushes the button to start the payment. Why shall you put a workflow on that task? Maybe you can put a workflow on overdue by 10 or 15 days so that the person only gets the exceptions, only a few reminders, but not for each of the 10,000 invoices which bumps in. Otherwise, they are flooded with these messages to do an action. And if people are flooded with these messages, which are for them useful, useless, because they do the work anyway, it's on their daily schedule, on their weekly schedule, you get them crazy. Or if you put in a workflow automatically also the delegate of the person who receives automatically the same message, not because the first person didn't execute, but the standard is spread it on two person, the delegate will get nuts. He gets a lot of popping in messages in his Outlook, in his ERP inbox, or wherever he gets, and he starts to ignore them. And then you put a priority mail and a higher priority, and then you add more people. And in the end, you inform the whole company because it's so easy to make this, and everybody is over messaged, over included, that people also get nuts. So workflows can be great. Install the culture of checking and executing workflows. Install the culture of accepting the value and the urgency of a workflow, but also let people do workflow tasks or daily business, not on a reaction, on an action on a workflow, but on a daily routine, because that works much better if they check every morning at 8 o'clock the invoices and only got reminded at 6 o'clock in the evening if they didn't done it. Okay? Thank you very much. That's all for today. Thank you. Goodbye. Adele. Meow, meow.